Hello there. Let's see. You know, I was just chatting with some strange people about, there's this idea the that the Temple Mount, that everyone is fighting over, it has this Muslim theater on top of it, for Allah and all that, or Allah, however the hell you say it. Doesn't matter. But anyways, this was the site of Solomon's temple. Okay, this huge rock that it sits on is so huge. I mean, people just can't really imagine how huge the stones are that were made. This was actually something like many things, like the pyramids were inherited by these Egyptians. Really, they had already were there. Just like in the Incas and the Aztecs and stuff, they inherited things they were just incapable of them to do, but they tried to master and made smaller rocks. I mean, you could just tell that the further back it was, a lot something wonderful was going on way back whenever. And I don't think it has anything to do with within the Bible's range of time, which has, I think it started at 6,000 years, and they don't even believe in dinosaurs. Come on. But anyways, it's beside the point. I'm ready to blow it all out of the water because, this idea that they get a land grab. Right now they're all like, oh my God, if you're Jewish, they don't like Christians. I'll tell you that. Louise, they tolerate you. That's really about the best part of it. Because I had Jewish friends, they loved me. But if they found that I was making fun of them, they would think if I was making fun of the Bible, then I'd get in some kind of trouble. Louise, they'd probably be afraid. But they got young kids, and their kids are smart enough to figure all this shit out on their own. Louise, now shut the hell up. Children. God damn. Well, anyways, in the Bible, let's use it as a reference. As the Bible, what happens? A long time ago, this King Cyrus, this guy, was ordered by God to rebuild the temple for these Jewish people. That's in the Bible. I'm claiming this to be the only real people because you can go and find this guy in history and he's real. Can't find anybody else. So kind of think, oh wow, that makes everything real. That's the trick. Alright, and I'm going to tell you this, and I hope I can do this within a few minutes. This guy, his God was called an Ahura Mazda. That's what it was. That's what an Ahura Mazda, who's who he worshipped, had the dibs on this guy, on this, and says, rebuild this for those guys. There's a scribe in there called Ezra, and Ezra is he brought the law, brings the law in. He's ordered to rewrite the law. It says that right in the Bible. We'd like to gloss over this, but he was told to rewrite it by the same group, the same God of Ahura Mazda, whatever the hell that is. Alright? It's not as easy to figure out the rest of these, but if you do read into it, you'll find, it's the same shit, left and right, good and bad, what have you. But he had his own Jesus, there was a guy named Zoroaster. And that's where some of our Bible was stolen from, right, from his writings. And he was a Christ-like guy, too. But this was a couple thousand years before. And then there's another guy in between there. There's another religion that slips right in the middle of all of this. But I don't want to talk about that because it just gets more and more crap. What happens is Ezra is told to write this. As scribe, he's being told to do this as the king, to rewrite these books, these laws, and I want you to go to Jerusalem, and I'm going to have you, I want you to enforce this, you tell them, you put this around, inform all these people, You know, these Jewish people. This is the law, and there was. It says right in the Bible that a king Artaxerxes was going to enforce it. He's going to force it on these people. So what you have here is a creation of this religion by this group of Persians, and this is during Babylonian times. All right. You know, it's already after the Greeks and all this. Let me tell you, this stuff, this is all contrived. The entire thing is contrived. I'm damn. You know, it's not just they got people following myths thousands of years ago. They got I mean, before then, you know, you want to believe in Pegasus and Zeus and all that. And all they got temples. Oh yeah, well we laugh, haha. You know, but shit, come on. Anyways, this Zoroaster is the head magi for these people. And you know, remember he's the one that goes these magi, these kings, the three kings that follow a star and find Jesus. So they're also responsible for Christianity. My goodness. And we all know where Islam comes from. So, you know, we're all bought and paid for by this cleanup crew. And the only real people are them and the Bible. And then when it comes down to, you know, the Quran, oh my God, you know, it's so contrived. You can see where they're writing things literally without any of this magical stuff inside the words. You just listen, you read it and say, man, you know, it's like when they water down the Bible for you to be able to hear it, to understand it better. When they take out the key words that you know, the numbers, all these things, they just soften it. Oh, this is what, and it just you lose the magic, you know. So, you know, any Bible outside of the King James Bible, the original changes, or the original Bible, anything other than that is just shit paper, all right? Just let you know that ahead of time. Just absolute shit paper. Because it loses all of its strength, all of its wealth, all of it, you know. All you're left was that controlled device without any hidden occult information. It just doesn't show up. You know, this stuff is written into the Bible so that it doesn't change. It's always the same symbols and stuff like that. You know, when they talk about, you know, when you hear about a monkey, a donkey, you know, a donkey or some kind of an ass, or that's us in our stubborn nature to change. And it's always that monkey it's always that donkey that we're riding up the mountain with, because that donkey is what is us. It's going to be sacrificed, you know. That's our nature. We just don't want to change. But anyways, all of these religions are contrived. They're apples. You know, piss them all off. I've died for this. I've used for this. I've killed for this. Fuck you. I don't give a damn that you know, that Hitler said, you know, you could say a lie millions of times and turns it into the truth. I'll tell you, it doesn't make no truth at all. Never. You know. The Stockholm Syndrome is what's happened to most people. But anyways, I'm still having a great time teaching my friends. I've only got about a week or so. I'm probably going to take extra time to work with them every now and then. There's a few, I've lost a lot of the homeless. They don't invest anything, so you know, it's still that thing that you have to invest in something in order to make it worthwhile. But I still have like the 6 people that actually have invested their time, and they realize they're getting something for free and something fun, and we have had a lot of fun. And but anyways, that's why you won't hear from me a lot. And plus, I got all this other Christmas stuff coming on, man. Whenever I get some color and some pretty stuff, I'll give you another little how to do. But you know, all of these religions are contrived, every one of them, and they're made for this like new world order way back then. Look, they got the guys being the cleanup guys. The only real people in these Bibles is these Muslim people. You know, I ain't shitting. That's the real shit, man. The only real people in these Bibles. You can look them up. Everyone else is just absolute made up. Just made up. It's terrible. Just absolutely terrible. To run a world off of this hideous book, off the surface of it, just a shame. Just a shame. So anyways, remember to disconnect, shut off from this world every now and then. Give some time to your daddy, and all he asks is that you shut up, and be quiet for a few minutes. Do it in the dark. The reason why you have to do it in the dark is the pineal gland is light sensitive, and it has its own little thing that it does when the light is on. But this God's work happens in the dark, in complete darkness or silence and quietness and nothingness. And somehow or another, it doesn't work unless it's dark. That's why it tells you to go into your closet, shut the door. Shut the door. That means shut off the thoughts. That's what you got to do. Alright? I'm going to repeat that all the time because that's easy. I'll tell you, he already knows you're coming up dirty, so don't say, I can't go up, The only thing that stops you from doing it is a really super busy mind, like you don't want to do it if, like on the spot. But, if you were able to, like, busy shuffle day, and, a week or something goes by and you say, damn, take one of those times, like a coffee break or an old smoke break or something, you can kind of condense them and say, well, I could probably push 15 minutes into just doing nothing. And practice shutting down the mind. Let it be natural. And that's all you do. And you learn how to do it yourself by practicing. It's like a muscle, you got to work it out. Work it out. And don't expect really, like shiny things and beautiful stuff and all kinds of noise and bells and fireworks and stuff like that, You're just going to have to believe without seeing. That's one part of the Bible that you can say is, face value. I love you and take care of yourself. I'll be back.